5 lights, and away we go almost. Yes, they're underway, and it's a great start from Luigi and Light Cruiser. Light Cruiser just tucking in behind. Yep, Light Cruiser has put the pedal to the metal, and it's on for Parabolica.
Yep, that's right.
I got it right. But Light Cruiser, yeah, stretching his legs out already. Yeah, he's picked it. It looked like he got a really good restart there, and he's already almost a second up the road. So yeah, these guys are running
sure
tight.
He didn't pit on lap 3, Pretorius. He pitted on lap 2, which was...
Yeah, Ice, we've got to move here. It's keyboard on Nico Rosberg. It's Finn on Finn action here. Is keyboard... Yeah, keyboard warrior came out off best there. He just sent it through the 2 les moves.
So Luigi up to P3, and he's gonna challenge Keyboard Magnussen here on the back straight. Luigi into Parabolic, and I think he's gonna get this move made. Yeah, he is. So Luigi up to P2.
Yeah, he must have got a stellar run out of Ascari.
Yep. And Luigi up to P2. Keyboard Magnussen down to P3. And who was that who dived into the pits? It was Nico Rosberg. So he opts the pit now.
Yeah, and I think we've got a 2 wide, almost 3 wide. Yes, 3 wide going into turn 1 here. Oh, it's tight as 3 of them. Yeah, 3 of them went in.
Somehow make it through.
3 went in, 3 came out somehow. It's a miracle, but it happened.
That was somewhere, I think it's at the exit of the second Lesmo. Yeah, he's on the middle of the track there.
Oh, he's right across the track. It's a virtual safety car as well.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that isn't a safety car. His wheel was off the car.
Light Cruiser spins in the pit lane.
Oh no, it goes from bad to worse for Light Cruiser. These safety cars aren't working out for him at all.
Into Lesmo 1. It's a wee bit wide there, so I think he might be too far back to do anything about it on this.
Oh no!
They tap each other. He just lost his
bit of damage, yeah.
Psychology.
Bit of damage for Tipsy.
That's losing, and
it's terrible. Hedis Davis is right behind him as well, and oh, that's terrible for Tipsy.
Yeah. Tipsy Bob has lost an end plate on that car, and now this is a massive 5-car battle now.
Yeah, this win really is up for grabs, and Tipsy Bob is under a lot of pressure from the guys behind him. And Grassy Juice is just right behind the both of them, just waiting to pounce.
Tipsy Bob has to do it here if he wants to do it.
Yeah, he's closing in, and he's going to go to the inside line for Ascari. This is going to be hairy. Is he going to get past him before the corner? Yeah, he doesn't actually. Do.
Tipsy Bob might just have this in the bag if he parks his car correctly on the racing line here, and he just does exactly that. So Tipsy Bob will take P3. I think that's a great job after his, and Bascodinho crosses the line first.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're joining us for another SLR stream on EGL. I've got myself in the commentary box alongside the living leg and Jensen.
Yeah, hello everybody, welcome to the stream.
Yeah, so you're joining us at Mother Russia. We've got 13 drivers on the grid. I saw another one join there in the session, so maybe I have 14 for the race. But currently we've got Pretorius leading the charge here, which is a bit of a surprise because he just decided to do this race at the last second. Virtually no practice, so yeah, he puts it across the line in first, 146 flat pretty much. Iceland as well, P2.
Milos had a massive spin and then decides to disqualify his run, which isn't very smart because there were already 2 disqualifications. But 4th place of Light Cruiser is interesting though, as the championship leader.
Yeah, I have a theory about that. I think he's obviously the dominant champion, and every race he kind of dominates. But I think now that he's pretty much he has won the championship already, he's just not practicing. So he's just showing up and just without any practice, and he probably will win this race as well.
Yeah, might be. Yeah, that should be a good theory.
Which is good for us because it means that other drivers get a chance at maybe winning. We've had a few different race winners over the last few races. Luigi did well in the last race, and Monza, and he's not here today, unfortunately. But we've got Tipsy Bob. He's also a race winner, and
Yeah.
he's on pretty good form at the minute. He's telling me he's not really motivated though, which is a bit contrary to the results he's getting. But whatever he's doing, whatever he's eating for breakfast, it's working for him. And Blessed as well, aka Cursed. We basically convinced him at the last second to join. He hates this track, so we're expecting big things from Blessed.
Yeah, and I'm sure he hated us when he spun in the qualifying already,
Yeah.
getting talked into this race. But yeah, let's see what he can do. But yeah, Light Cruiser, Icewind, Bailey, and Pretorius front four, Tipsy maybe in the mix as well. Should be interesting.
Yeah, these F2 races, we were talking before the stream, they're kind of dying a death here, but I always look forward to them, you know, even doing commentary or whatever, or racing, it's always a bit of fun, and F1's a bit of a try-hard series, you know, you put the grind in, but for F2 you can kind of put a few laps in and just have fun out there, you know?
Yeah, it definitely has the unpredictability with it, with guys not practicing, of course.
Yeah, and you've got
And,
that the double race, you know, you got the sprint race. So I always use the feature race as a practice, and then sprint race is like where I really show my true form of how truly slow I can go.
yeah, yeah.
It takes
Yeah.
practice, you know, to go this slow.
Yeah, maybe.
And Fernakoi has joined the session though, so that's good to see. So we've got 14 drivers. P13 is George, SLR George. He is back. He is
Oh,
yeah, he's
he was
taking
in the military, right?
Yeah, he's got I think a 10-day break, so he said he's just got home and he's absolutely knackered and he wasn't really feeling it. But we'll see what he's got here. It's his first time back on the track here, so
At least getting used to the handling again. Better start sooner than later.
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of curious how much penalties there will be. How much penalties people will be getting without practice.
Yeah, it's going to be a big factor. We saw that. What race was that recently? Was that yesterday? Oh yeah, it was. And in Tier 3 as well in Canada, the penalties just
Yeah.
it was crazy. I think the P8 guy, No Fret, went from P8 to P2 on the finish line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
oh, and Billy's off. Yeah, Billy's off
Oh.
on the formation lap. Bit of
There's
contact.
slightly colder tires now, but no big deal.
Yeah, actually hit his teammate there, so they're both on the start-finish grid.
Oh, Wimpy will be pretty pleased with that one. But yeah, yesterday was nuts, especially when I saw one guy had 4 or 5 second time penalties. It was crazy.
Yeah, you couldn't even do that if you tried, I reckon.
Oh, I'm sure it will happen to me as well tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to it. Fortunately, we have this race first, so you do the honors.
Yeah, I'll try and get a good angle at the start here. So Pretorius in the lead, Icewind P2. So let's see who can get the better getaway as the lights come on. So 3, 4, 5 lights are up and away we go, and they're off. Pretorius getting a pretty decent start here. Icewind tucking in behind. I think there's some movement behind. I think Light Cruiser got up to third with a pretty decent start. His starts are absolutely legendary in this series. I see some movement at the back as well. Might be.
Ooh, yeah, I
be a tight
see
squeeze.
Bailey braking too late and losing his front wing already.
Oh dear. Jeez.
So it all kicked off right away.
Yeah, Wimpy not doing too good either. He's down P13, but up front, Pretorius holding on to the lead with Light Cruiser now into P2. Icewind falling back to P3. Now under attack from Rodspot. Oh, there is carnage at the back.
Yeah,
That looks like Billy. Yeah, Billy is off at the back, so he's.
Yeah, this is going to be a very lost race for him.
Yeah, he's had a. There's Cursed out as well.
Cursed is out as well.
Yeah, so he's missing a wheel.
Wimpy, a 5-second time penalty for collision with Milos. And we have a safety car. Surprise, surprise.
Hello. low safety car.
Yeah.
First of many, maybe. I don't know. I think there has been the odd safety car in F2, but yeah, with this new safety car feature, it may become more prominent.
Yeah, the one positive thing is that the grid is still quite close together. So it will probably just stay out for one lap, I reckon. Although Bailey has to pit for a new front wing, of course.
Yeah, it's good news for Billy. He's back in the race.
Yeah.
He had a bad first 2 laps, and by first 2 laps, I mean the formation lap and the first lap, where he's had 2 spins. But yeah, we know Billy is pretty good. He does seem a wee bit rusty recently. I don't think he's been putting in the time in the game of late. But we know he's got great potential. So who knows? But there is that rule where you can't pit. You know, the pit stop within the first 3 laps doesn't count towards your mandatory pit stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm seeing Wimpy and Bailey both in the pits, so they will need to pit again after this, which sucks. They're almost better staying out, almost. I don't know.
Bailey is probably forced to the softer tire now as well, or do they have an extra set of mediums?
That I do not know. I guess we'll find out in the course of the race.
Yeah, Wimpy goes to the super softs, so oh no, he goes to the mediums, but he was on super soft. Oh, let's wait and see then. Now at this rate, the safety car might stay out for another lap.
Yeah, see, I was Kirsten chat is saying.
George with the 5 seconds. Yeah, if you cut corners behind the safety car, guys, don't do it because it gives you an immediate 5-second time penalty.
Yeah, I saw people complain about that yesterday, and is that what it is? So safety car, if you cut a corner, it's instant 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think it came with the patch or something, or a bug that's shown up a lot more recently once again. But yeah, you really want to be careful with it.
So just while we've got a bit of a lull in the action, I just wanted to ask you, Jensen, what are your thoughts on the safety car? Like, you know, across the F1 series mainly, but also in the F2 series. Are you a fan of it, or do you think it's a good idea, or you think it's worth keeping? Or
in cases like this, where not everybody practiced, Milos, for example, he binned it. Bailey, of course, also didn't practice, lost his front wing. I mean, it does give these drivers a second chance, some sort of lifeline. But I can understand if you are driving a clean race at the front and you are constantly taking out of your momentum with a safety car. Like yesterday, it can become quite annoying at some point. I was pretty afraid of a safety car last week in Spain because I knew we would be very close together, and one time penalty could make all the difference if you can drive away. But yeah, in Tier 1, we didn't had a safety car last week because we didn't had massive crashes. So maybe we still have to monitor it a little bit. People that are complaining a lot about safety cars, maybe also look to yourself and to your tier as well. I mean, if there are massive crashes, yeah, no wonder the safety car will come out. So I think if we all start to drive a lot cleaner, it ain't that bad. That's my opinion at this point.
yeah, I tend to agree, and I heard you on the commentary on Tier 2. I kind of agree with the sentiment. It's like it can be the best thing in the world, and it can be the worst thing. So like maybe one time it comes out and it's like the best thing ever because it works out for you, but another time you might have gap to the guy behind you, and then you see a safety car comes out, and it's just like, you know, screw this kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's what it is. Sometimes you really benefit from it, sometimes not. So I think it's still pretty balanced, but yeah, as a driver, you want to have control of it yourself, of course, by having pace, by trying to drive away from other drivers. And if there comes a safety car when you, for example, just critted across the pit lane, and the guy behind you stops for fresh tires, yeah, it can also cost you a few positions. So it's also always a little bit of uncertainty when a safety car comes out.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, it's going to take longer to work out if it's going to be a feature we keep in the races. I mean, for the Tier 1, it was good because there was no safety car because it was relatively clean driving there. But as you saw in Tier 2 and some other league races, it can be a bit too much. You know, it's okay the odd time to have 4 safety cars, but oh yeah, Pretorius is in the pits here, so
Yeah, smart move.
and the safety cars staying out as well. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
You want to know why? Because Bailey was still not closed
Oh,
the
okay.
gap to the last driver. So Pretorius, Ice Wind, Light Cruiser all take their chance to pit. Oh no, Light Cruiser didn't, but yeah, good call I think from Pretorius and Ice Wind. They got a free pit stop.
Yeah, it didn't work out for Grassy Joe, so he's held up here in the pits. I don't know what's happening. It just froze on my screen.
That's because Pretorius pitted before him.
Yeah. Oh, he's underway now, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit of lag as well. But
Yes.
yeah, if you look at the gaps, Pretorius needs to close up 10 more seconds to P9, which is Bailey. Bailey also still quite behind. Oh, he also made a pit stop. Why is Bailey not closed up yet? Yeah, anyways, Pretorius needs to close 10 seconds. Well, with this pace, with the safety car, he will have that at the end of the lap. So Pretorius, Icewind, they got a free pit stop, essentially.
Yeah.
So they played this perfectly.
Yeah, that was smart thinking from him. It might just win him the race, and I think Wimpy and Bailey should really make the most of it. Did they pit onto the safety car?
I can take a look.
I don't think they did. So
yeah, Wimpy and Bailey did because of wing damage.
yes, so that was within the first 3 laps. So that they need to pit again. So they're probably best doing it now, or else maybe gambling on maybe another safety car coming out later in the race.
I mean, with this patch and with this recipe of drivers not practicing the track, it can definitely be possible. Who's cut? Oh, Wimpy cut the entire track there. I don't know what he is doing there. Quite a risk he took with the 5-second time penalties coming so direct.
Yeah,
safety car in.
I was about to say they're very bunched up here, but yeah, safety car in, so they're all looking to get the best possible start here. Let's go up front. Light Cruiser in the lead. Let's see if he gets it. And we're seeing Tipsy Bob pulling into the pits as well.
Yeah, and now you are going to see how much time you lose with this action. I reckon he will be 15 seconds behind Pretorius or something, maybe more.
Yeah, though Pretorius will have traffic to navigate through, so it might hold him out a little bit. But I think he's still got the upper hand here.
Yeah. I mean, Pretorius, surely, Light Cruiser has the empty track in front of him, but he needs to pit in a few laps. And there's no way he's gonna drive away 20 seconds from Pretorius, maybe 5 or 6 seconds. Yeah, you can see it. Tipsy is 17 seconds behind Justin.
Yeah.
So that's what those guys gained by pitting the previous lap.
Some smart driving from those guys. It's always the way when a safety car comes out. You're just like, do I pit? And you're gonna like panic mode.
it's the part I hate most.
Yeah, because your whole race can depend on it. You know, it's either the best call ever or the worst call.
I mean, I had it in Bahrain as well in the Tier 1 race. I went for new mediums. Yeah, because of the chaos in front of me, it panned out perfectly. While Inferno Koi is looking around the outside of Bailey. Larson, sorry.
Yeah, this is for P4. It looks like he's got it.
He's making it stick, but now Larson has the outside and then the inside for the next corner. If he runs, he keeps it around the inside, but Inferno Koi takes the place.
At
But yeah,
Vertical, sorry,
yeah,
Bill. I was
go
just
ahead.
going to say, at Vertical, I'm really super happy about how he's progressed over, since he joined SLR. He started out and he was one of those guys that, would spin out a lot or DNF. But he's put in the work and it's paying off here. He's doing very well for himself across
Yeah.
all leagues he's in. Oh, and there's a bit of a train here. Billy and Larson on Inferno Koi, and
Yeah,
also
and
Pretorius in the
Pretorius
mix.
already lurking with the much fresher tires. Goes on the inside of Bailey here. And I don't think Bailey will fight him too hard. But with Bailey, you never know. He does fight for position. It's good to see.
Too wide. Larson and Inferno Koi still
Yeah.
battling here hard. Ooh. I know he's out in the background. Billy, yeah, Billy lining up these guys as well as Pretorius is eager to get past. Oh, Pretorius
Oh!
tags Billy, and there is damage. I see a bit of front wing hanging off there, so that is terrible for Pretorius.
Yeah.
It's not going to help him at all. I think there's a few cars here missing front wing. Bailey as well missing a little bit of front wing.
I don't know
Icewind.
how bad it is with Pretorius, but I mean he has this 17 seconds buffer to P1. Yeah, he's not P1 anymore. My bet is on Icewind right now. If you can clear those guys and not get too much penalties, 3 wide.
3 wide.
But Icewind keeps the inside, has better traction with those fresher tires, and got through. So good stuff from Icewind. He has 1 second to Larson right now. People in front of him are going to the pit, of course. So yeah, it's not going to take long before Icewind will be in front with a massive gap, because Pretorius, of course, is falling away, unfortunately. But I think Pretorius is going to wing it, nice pun, to the end with a damaged front wing.
Yeah, he got past Billy there. Oh no, he actually didn't. Billy gets back past him. Must have DRS, but Billy going wide, and oh, Billy's off! Billy is off the track. Lost it on traction out of turn 1. And yes, it's a third, I think it's the third spin for him. So you're right about Tipsy Bob. He really lost out when he pitted as a safety car came in. Look how much time he is behind these guys. Inferno Koi as well in the pits currently, coming out in P12. So interesting stuff.
The gap of Icewind to the leaders is only 6-7 seconds. So yeah, you do the math. 15 or 16 second Light Cruiser will be behind Icewind when he done his pit stop. Same for the guys behind him, of course. So yeah, Icewind is in the perfect spot to win this race if he keeps his head down and yeah, don't get too much penalties. But he has quite a big buffer to win this one.
Yeah, 2SRL Icewind is known for his time penalty accumulation. It's one of his weak spots, and he's getting a hard time here from Larson.
Did you say Icewind? Philwind was it, right?
It's hard to
get through.
It's hard to keep up all these name changes, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yes, Icewind keeps that position from Larson, but Larson is looking pretty punchy behind him. Pretorius as well, closing the gap to Larson. So this battle between Larson and Icewind is feeding into Pretorius's race nicely. Billy Thompson, 3 second time penalty. Yikes.
I mean, even with the wing damage, Pretorius will. I think he will be alright for second place. He's doing a pretty good job with that damaged front wing.
Billy Thompson, 5 second speeding penalty.
Yeah, Bailey is done with it.
He's had enough.
Yeah. He retired in pit lane. Yeah, Tipsy is driving a pretty lonely race at this moment. But still plenty of people yet to pit.
Yeah, he may still pick up a good, decent haul of points here, but I'm sure he's just thinking right now this is practice for the sprint race, which is coming up next.
Yeah. What I don't understand, why is Nico Rosbot already 7 laps on the super soft?
Wow.
That's it's long to go. I would have reckoned pitting last lap would have been at least faster, maybe 2 laps earlier as well, but...
And he is losing time a wee bit, because Vinny's took that P2 spot from him a few laps ago.
But yeah, unfortunately for him, he's going to the slower tire, and the guys in front of him are going to the faster tire. So he's close now, but...
He's still not pitting though?
No, he's not even going for the undercut or something. I think he should have pitted the end of lap 7 to get the fresh mediums and drive faster pace than the guys he's now following, of course. But Pretorius is making his move on Larsson.
Yeah, and he's got that move done pretty much before the corner, the first corner. Yep. Of course, F2 cars don't have ERS, so it's DRS all the way. That start-finish straight is a big advantage if you got DRS available.
Yeah. It's also a very strong one at Russia.
So settling down a little bit here. Seeing a few battles here playing out. Pretorius is... I'm going to keep an eye on this gap between Pretorius and Icewind. It's only 2.3 seconds currently.
Yeah, it's not over yet. I mean, if Pretorius can keep it clean and Icewind, to SRL, Icewind does his reputation honors, and he gets 2 time penalties or something, yeah, then all bets are off, of course. Pretorius doesn't have a warning. Icewind has 3 warnings at this point.
Uh-oh.
One should have been a collision warning because he he don't have a penalty yet. But yeah, Icewind already on the verge of getting his first time penalty. Not a big deal because he's still a little bit faster than Pretorius, and he's already at the 3-second mark. Yeah, almost at the 3-second mark, but yeah, he can't afford to get a second penalty this race. That for one thing is sure.
Yeah, he just put a fastest lap in as well, so he's obviously putting the hammer down.
Pretorius was a second slower this lap, by the way. And then Pretorius also had a DRS on Larsson the previous lap, so... oh, Icewind with his first 3-second penalty, there we go. Commentator's curse.
And he's obviously had a mistake there as well. Whatever that track extension was, it cost him about 0.5 of a second. Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong time interval. He's got 3.6.
I think he cut it very well. That's also one way to get further ahead. But
so yeah, the race is kind of... Yeah, it's calmed down a lot here. I'm not seeing any people making any massive gains. Bailey leaves session. I think Tipsy is closing in on George here as well, the back, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I mean, these guys will have to pit sooner or later. Maybe they are all betting on a second safety car or something. I don't know why they go so long into the race, especially Nico with his super softs. But he's still quite close behind Finney. That's interesting to see.
Jensen, I just spotted something on my camera. I wonder if you can see
rain.
It yourself. Yeah, there's a bit of rain coming down.
That explains it. Yeah, you say I spotted and I saw drops.
Yeah.
That explains it, yeah.
I thought I had dirt on my monitor, but no, it's rain.
Yeah, but now you are definitely going to see how much benefit Icewind will be getting with those fresher tires in the rain.
So this would explain why Nico is staying out so long. He's obviously...
Yeah,
he's thinking about... And there's George in the pits, so I wonder if George is going to be the first guy to switch to the wet tire.
I don't think he's going to gamble. I mean, it's raining quite softly. There's only 3 laps to go. Yeah, maybe the last lap will be wet enough for Inters. Or the last 2 laps, but
Yeah, I think George
he,
is making that gamble. Yeah, I don't think it's
yeah,
gonna work
he
out.
has nothing to lose, of course, but this is too early, I think.
And he gets a front wing as well, so he's gonna spend a lot of time in the pits here. So I suppose it's worth rolling the dice here
Yeah,
for George.
Icewind. Yeah, now you can see the benefit of those fresher tires. Icewind already on the back of Nico, closed down a second in half a lap.
Oh, George hits the wall on the pit exit,
Oh,
and front wing, a new front wing
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
last too long. So the wet tires are not the tire to be on right now. It is fairly
Ooh,
dry, but I'm seeing Nico
ooh,
lock up
Nico. Yeah,
massively.
he
Yeah,
went very deep there, trying to defend.
cars are looking rather slidey here, but I don't think it's definitely not wet enough to put on wets yet.
This is such a difficult. You see Icewind drifting. This is such a difficult. Yeah, they are going to go to the pit. Who's going to get first? Don't get the penalty, Icewind.
Oh,
Watch out.
Icewind gets
Okay,
past
smart.
Rosberg.
Yeah, smart enough. Everyone is in the pit. So Light Cruiser looks like he made the right call by not pitting at the end of lap 3 under the safety car. Because they apparently knew it was going to rain and we didn't.
And Pretorius and Larson, yeah, they're staying out on these medium tires. I wonder if that is going to decide this race. Can they tiptoe around this track to the very end and pick up a win?
I doubt it. I mean, if you see how much of the field pits, Jeff surely have told these guys that that it's time for the wet tire. I think Pretorius is going for the big for glory moment.
It's worth a shot, I
Trying.
guess, but I don't
I
know.
mean, he has nothing to lose. I mean, otherwise he would get third or fourth place maybe. Now he actually still has a chance to win this, but it's going to be an annoying last 2 laps for him.
Yeah, that back end just wants to get away from him every time he puts the pedal to the metal. He's just nursing it around every corner, so we'll keep an eye on this gap. So Larson and Pretorius on medium tires, Light Cruiser and P3, 17.7 seconds behind on wets. We're expecting
I'm
that
on
gap to
board
come
with
down.
yeah, I'm on board with Light Cruiser right now. It doesn't look that fast, to be honest. It looks maybe even slower than, or just as slow as the mediums tire Pretorius is on. But I'm sure this is crossover point. I think the next lap, the wet tires will definitely be quicker. But yeah, I guess they are all maybe 1 lap too early on the wet tires. Although Light Cruiser is now making up some time on
And,
Larson.
Larson's actually pulled into the pits here, which is a big surprise. I figured the DRS is disabled, so yeah, this is the point.
Like I said, this lap is the yeah, spot on. So Larson, in fact, played it perfectly. Yeah, Pretorius has to. Yeah, he needs to keep Light Cruiser 7 seconds a lap behind.
Wow, yeah, it's going to take some doing, and it's 2 laps left. It is possible, but it's going to be nip and tuck, I think.
I mean, yeah.
What's the gap? 20.5 seconds.
And Light Cruiser made a big mistake somewhere because it was. Oh no, the gap is correct, by the way. So he has 10 seconds a lap of buffer.
Larson coming out in P6, but he's struggling on these wet tires. He completely misses turn 1. Has to take evasive action to get back on track. It's a 3-second time penalty for his efforts.
I think Pretorius might have this one, to be honest. By the way, Light Cruiser also has 2 warnings. Vinny as well. Pretorius doesn't have a single warning.
And Tipsy Bob, I know he hates the rain, and he's showing us why, because he's currently pulling into the pits after a spin. But that gap is tumbling down. He's got 3 seconds in one sector. has Light Cruiser on Pretorius, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
4 seconds gained by Light Cruiser at this point. 5
Yeah.
at this point. It's going to be close. It's going to be the end of the last lap, I think. Maybe in this sector at the last lap, because this is really the place where it hurts, of course.
Yeah, if it rains any harder, look at Pretorius. He's just absolutely tiptoeing around every corner here.
Yeah. Yeah, 14 and a half. It's going to be very close. But I always get some kind of deja vu when I see stuff like this. Because I'm also someone who likes to take these kind of risks, and I had this happen before, and then you think you made the right call, and then in the last few corners you got overtaken in the end.
Yeah.
But it's still 11 seconds. Pretorius needs a very good lap to pull this off, but it starts to rain heavier and heavier.
Yeah, and he missed turn 1 there.
Yeah, he lost 2 seconds in turn 1 alone. Yeah, and Light Cruiser, yeah, it looks so much more. Oh, Light Cruiser got a 3-second penalty. That could be crucial for this race.
I'm actually watching the map here as well, and you could just literally see Light Cruiser just cruising up closer to and closing that gap into Pretorius. So
yeah, that's pretty epic to see right now. But I don't know if Pretorius can maybe block Light Cruiser a little bit in the last sector and don't let him pull away 3 seconds in the end. He might still have it. But that's only because Light Cruiser got the 3-second penalty.
And you can now see him up the road, which is gonna push him on further. And he just has so much more confidence in these tires, and you can see it on every apex.
But I think Pretorius is able to pull this off. At this point he won't lose so much because it's a straight, of course.
Yeah, it's sector 3 where he's going to lose the most time, isn't it? It's so twisty and tight.
It's like I said, it's going to come down in sector 3, of course. But yeah, Light Cruiser has the 3-second penalty, so all Pretorius has to do is block him in the next few corners. And he has it. After these 2 corners, Light Cruiser will be closed up. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Pretorius sliding all over the place. If he blocks him here and in the next corner, he will have it. Yeah, Light Cruiser has way better traction. But I don't think Light Cruiser can pull out 3 seconds in these 2 corners. Light Cruiser going very wide. He tries his best to undo the 3 seconds. But yeah, acceleration Pretorius, and he has it.
Hey, what a win from Pretorius.
He got really saved by that 3-second penalty, but very well done by Pretorius.
Good job from the man. It was a bit of a gamble, but it paid off. And it's Vinny in 3rd, Icewind bringing it up in 4th, Rodspot 5th, Larson P6, I think Grassy Joes and Wimpy will be 7th and 8th with Infernocoy P9. Unless there's any major time penalties to play out here, but George P10. So we're looking at the sprint race. Wimpy is going to be P1. It's going to be an interesting one. Yeah, so there you have it. Just waiting for Infernocoy, and he's still in the medium tire, so he's nursing the car around here. It's probably at its wettest right now as the track, so fair play to him for sticking it out.
And we have Wimpy on pole for the next race.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I have flashbacks last season, and I think you maybe called the race, or I think you were watching at least. In the sprint race I was pole, and I got to like the 3rd straight, and Toto just crashed into me for some reason. I don't know. I'm still bitter about it, like, so if Toto's watching, yeah, scumbag.
Yeah.
I was loving life, you know, just driving up the road, pole position, leading the race, and it was too good to be true, you know.
Yeah. It happens to all of us.
But yeah, that was a great race. I mean, the rain really was a bit of a shock to us, but I think the drivers probably knew it was coming, and that's why we saw some of those rather strange strategies there.
Oh, Pretorius says in the chat that his MFD was broken, so he couldn't change to wets till the last lap. So it
No
wasn't
way.
even voluntarily, but it panned out quite nicely for him in the end.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Hopefully catch an interview with him afterwards and get his take on what happened there. But yeah, the F1 gods have been kind to him today. As I say, he wasn't even gonna take part in this race tonight until I persuaded him with some insults, and it worked.
Yeah, he got another win on his resume, so that's good.
But it was a shame. I was hoping their Icewind would got a wee win under his belt. It would have been his first, I think, in SLR, but it was not to be.
Yeah, but he's now a 2 SRL driver, so who cares?
Yeah, this is true. Yeah. So the sky looks pretty cloudy for this session. It doesn't look too bad, but you never know. Rain could show its face again in this one. It's going to be a shorter race and no pit stops necessary for the sprint series. As we see Wimpy in P1. He will be loving life right now, but he's going to be under a lot of pressure as the flag goes down. Everybody on medium tires. So what do we got? We've got Wimpy in P1. Gracios is... Oh, here, just while you're on, how do you pronounce this guy's name? I always get it wrong. Is it Gracie Joes or Gracie Jos?
Ik denk Gracie Jos.
Gracie Jos. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Then...
What I always find funny, how you say het is Davy. You always say het is Davis, Davis or something.
Yeah.
Davish. Yeah. Difficult to I can understand that.
Yeah,
always funny.
I struggle with these names. Like some of them, especially the ones that have numbers in them. Like Justin, that racer always throws me off because I'm like,
Yeah.
Justin, that R for Sir.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's I mean, most of the Dutch guys in the league have quite easy names, like Toto, myself, Light Cruiser, quite English as well. But yeah, Crazy Jos and Het is Davy, quite Dutch.
Keeps us on our toes, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have the Greek people as well.
Oh, don't even start me on that. There's a guy called Nickelodeus, or I don't think that's the way.
It's quite easy. It's Nickelodeus.
Nickelodeus. I call him Nickelodeon.
Yeah, I already figured out that you Irish people have trouble to read sometimes. Just like Tipsy Bob with Max Spilts.
Yes, yeah.
Where he said splits for the first 3 races.
Even Billy saying Satoshi is called Saratoshi.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, where's the R in that word? Yeah, it's funny.
Right, so here we go. Sprint race is about to begin. I saw someone at the back there having a bit of an issue, but I can't find who it was. I think it might have been Light Cruiser.
Milos once again, maybe?
Maybe, yeah. Milos in P14, but we're expecting a last to first challenge for him.
Still kudos that he stayed in the lobby.
So here we go. The lights are up again. We got the 5 lights up, and we are away for the sprint race. Wimpy in P1 gets off to a pretty decent start, but he's already under threat from Larson coming up around the outside. I think Larson's already passed him. It's side by side here.
Yeah, it's going to be crowded in turn 1 with the slipstream as well.
Larson actually ahead of him by the corner, so Wimpy taking it.
Oh, there goes a wing, and there goes Milos again.
Oh god. he needs to just change his name to Cursed again.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kirst and Vinny at the back getting tangled up.
Yeah, Milos spinned again. Yeah, that's going to be start to retire, I'm sure.
Light Cruiser making his way past Grazing Joss. I think it's worse when I try to say it properly.
Yeah, just say it how you want to say it.
So Larson in the lead of this race. Wimpy in P2. Light Cruiser, obviously he's gonna, once he gets under speed, up to speed, he's gonna be all over the back of these guys in front. So now's the time to strike if you want to kind of assert yourself in this race, because once Light Cruiser gets past Wimpy and Larson, I think it's game over.
I'm seeing Milos crashing himself out. Will that bring out the safety car? So maybe not too smart to do, but...
Oh, free wide into sector 3. Iceland coming off the worst of that. He's P6 from P4. So Pretorius and Grassy Jones gets past him there.
Oh, there goes Justin went very wide there.
Yeah, Justin getting passed now by Nico Rosbot.
Tipsy already passed him.
Yeah, sorry, Justin there behind as well. We've seen this from him in Tier 2. He's a bit too overzealous on the braking, I think. He just yeets it every time, and it's very scary to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, he was also the one who dove on the inside of the chicane and made it 3 wide yesterday. A bit of an impatient driver at times.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Meanwhile, Light Cruiser passed Wimpy. So he's looking pretty good. Pretorius needs to get past Wimpy as soon as possible if he wants to stay right behind Light Cruiser, of course.
Yeah, Wimpy doing alright here in P3, but he is going to come under attack, like you say, from Pretorius. Very fast driver, but yeah, he could well get himself a decent haul of points for Virtuoso.
Yeah.
And Iceland getting past Grassy Joes as well here. No DRS this lap, so Grassy Joes tucking up behind for a bit of slipstream. Is he going to send it down the inside? Oh, he goes for the outside move. Iceland keeping it pretty tight for the apex and keeping it nice and tidy. Gets out moved on.
Yeah.
Did Wimpy
Crazy,
try and... I think
Crazy
Wimpy
also came on the curb a little bit.
And Light Cruiser going for a look down the inside. I know it's a favourite move of his, is to show himself in the mirrors of the car in front, and he's lining Larson up here. One thing I've noticed about Light Cruiser is his exits from corners is unparalleled in F2. It's a bit crazy to watch as he gets himself past Larson. It looks like he's going to have this move done by the first corner without the use of DRS, which is quite impressive. Now that feeds Larson back into Wimpy, so Wimpy under attack as well from Pretorius. So a few battles here to watch out for. Tipsy Bob as well in P7 on the back of Grassy Joes.
Yeah, next DRS zone is definitely one to keep an eye for. With the Pretorius and Tipsy. And in the back we have Vinny looking on the inside of Inferno Koi as well. Tipsy is looking on the inside, but is only threatening to make a pass. Oh, and Pretorius has a much better exit than Wimpy and is already past him. That's very positive for him, so now he can catch up to Larson with the DRS and maybe overtake him on the main straight, so he don't lose that much time on Pretorius, who is already a second clear of Larson. So Pretorius can't afford to stay behind these guys for too long if he wants to...
I don't know what happened there, but Pretorius got a lot of opposite lock, and yeah, he's falling off the back of Larson here because of it. Might fall outside of the 1 second DRS range.
Meanwhile, Tipsy is creating, Crazy Joss is creating quite a train behind him. And Pretorius is way too far back to make a move on Larsen, I think. 8/10 is too much.
But Icewind is all over the back of Wimpy here. He's got DRS, as does Wimpy, but let's see,
Yeah.
Wimpy guarding that inside line. I think these guys are in VC together as well, so I don't think there's going to be... Oh, yep, Wimpy lets Icewind through there.
Yeah.
So smart driving from him. Obviously, Icewind's got a bit better pace in this car, and he might actually be able to challenge for a podium here.
Yeah, if you can stay right behind them, everything is possible. And he also makes sure he doesn't lose too much time to the guys behind him going side by side with Icewind. So that's clever driving. And Light Cruise is extending the gap 2 seconds at this point. Icewind running very wide there.
Are we going to see another penalty for him?
You have to switch to a Tipsy on the outside of this corner.
Oh, yeah.
Justin also in the mix.
Oh, there's 4 cars in this mix now, yeah. Oh, and a bit of contact.
Yeah, you can't turn in like he's
Oh,
not there,
and Tipsy's off. Just got a
yeah.
bit of contact on his rear, and it sent him
Yeah.
out. He's not going to be very happy about that.
It was waiting to happen. Justin already turned in like he wasn't there, and now he goes on the outside. Did he hit?
No, I think Grassy just went off. Did he? Did he hit Grassy just?
Yeah, I saw it on my screen, and he broke extremely late. So maybe he gave him a small nudge or something.
Yeah, I didn't catch it on my screen. I thought Grassy just went off by himself there. But yeah, if that's true, then we'll have to get the FIA to look at that afterwards.
It's a shame I didn't saw it perfectly, but maybe someone recorded that one.
Grassy just in the pits, 5-second penalty for his... Oh, and Icewind is getting past Larsen, and Wimpy's looking for a move on Larsen as well. Larsen without DRS here, so that really hurt him, but he's managed to keep P4 for now. But Wimpy is he's hungry for that P4 position. He's not giving up without a fight, which is great to see.
Yeah, he just needs to stay on them. Maybe capitalize on mistakes of the guys in front, maybe on time penalties. Yeah, Tipsy gets a 3-second penalty. I can understand he's a bit frustrated right now, and that's not very good for your focus and concentration, of course.
Wimpy falling off the back of Larsen here, so he's not quite able to keep up with Larsen at this time, but Icewind is doing a good job of hanging in with Pretorius. He's just outside the DRS range, so I think that's going to be key for Pretorius if he wants to hold on to P2 right now. But Icewind, yeah. I think Icewind just gets stronger as the race goes on.
Yeah, that might be true, but he's on 2 warnings as well.
Oh, Icewind. Oh, he just picked up another one there. I saw it coming before he even hit the apex.
Oh, yeah. I went out of the race direct and I see it at the bottom of the screen. Yeah, that's really his weak point. If he can get that part out of his races, then he will be a seriously threat for the front guys. Also in Tier 1, with F1 of course, but he has the pace. But yeah, it's just invalidating too much at times, which cost him positions.
So Wimpy staying in DRS range of Larsen, but he's too far back to do anything this time around. And I think they're quite evenly matched, these two. But if Larsen can break that DRS range, I think he's secured P4 for now.
Yeah.
No penalties.
We have Vinny still quite close behind Justin, who is quite close behind Nico Rosbach. So that's a small little trade as well. Yeah, and Light Cruise is just gone at this point.
Yeah, he's literally in a league of his own. We should just create a separate league for him. The Light Cruiser League.
Just give him fixed setups.
Yeah.
That will teach him to practice for these races while the rest don't. Nah, but he of course he put the hours in, especially last season I think. So yeah, he's really familiar with his handling. So even if he doesn't practice a lot like the other guys. He still has the benefit of past experience with the car, of course. But yeah, he's in a league of his own. He can easily drive 5/10 slower each lap than Pretorius and still be 1.3 seconds ahead of him. So yeah, he's comfortably in the lead at this point.
Yeah, and
he also set the fastest lap.
I think he was listening to us and he just wanted to put a stamp on what you just said, like underline it.
Yeah.
So we got this train that we were talking about, Nico Rosberg, Justin, and it's just Vinny. So Justin and it's just Vinny will get DRS here, but I think they're too far back at this time. Yes, not this lap, but we've got 4 laps remaining after this one. Oh, and I think it's just Vinny hit Justin, that racer. Yep.
Yeah, got a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, Vinny came off worse there, but he was the one who basically sent it into turn 1 and tagged Justin.
Fortunately, it at least didn't end someone's race. But yeah, of course, it can happen one time. We know Vinny is a clean driver in general, I think. Yeah, like we saw yesterday, everybody makes mistakes sometimes.
So right now Wimpy is the guy under pressure. This P5 is far from secure for Wimpy right now. He's got Nico behind him, who's a very fast driver. Justin, the racer, looking very punchy as well.
Is Wimpy on the wheel or on the pad? I think he's on the pad.
For this,
yeah,
I think
he's on the pad.
Yeah, you can see that in the steering inputs.
Maybe he starts to suffer a little bit of overheating tires. I don't know if that's a thing in F2, but I know in F1 I can get my tires overheated on this track. But yeah, he fell off the back of Larsson by quite a bit, so he's struggling at the moment. And we have to keep an eye on George for a little bit. He will be closing down on Vinny as well, I think, with the damage. Pretorius with a 3-second penalty.
Oh, that could be interesting. So
nah, not really, because Icewind has it as well, and they got more than 3 seconds to Larson behind.
Oh, so, Wimpy's overtaken by Nico Rosberg. I think Wimpy got a bad exit from turn 1. And Nico got a penalty there, I think, a flash up on screen, Tipsy Bob as well. So yeah. Wimpy could still, he could still get his position back by the end of the race.
I think Vinny cut it to the entire first corner because he gained a second on George or something.
Oh god.
He got a 3-second penalty because of it. So it's not really helping him, but I can understand with wing damage and not making the corner, you're like, alright, who cares, just full throttle.
Justin the racer lining up Wimpy here. We've got DRS open for both cars. I think Justin, knowing his history, may well just send it here on Wimpy. Let's see what he does. He's thinking about it. Yeah,
he's patient for a change.
It's good to see a bit of improvement from him.
Unless he dives into this corner. Oh, he taps him a little bit.
He taps him, yeah. This is what I do not like to see, and I think that's
a bit of karma. He goes on the throttle too early, and yeah.
That would be karma in action, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I mean, the little tap wasn't that bad, but yeah, at least he gets karma for not being patient enough. He went on the throttle too early and almost spun out. Justin also with 3 warnings, a penalty and a warning, and 2 more warnings. So I think he got quite some collision warnings as well, and those you don't want, of course.
Yeah, I always hate to see this. So, you know, like Justin, he's obviously got pace, he's obviously very fast, but he just lacks, you know, that element of racecraft, like you say, patience and bit of respect for other drivers.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't be tapping people, and you know, even though like he came off worse that time, you just can't be doing that through corners, you know, because it unsettles the guy in front, and it's unfair to do that.
Yeah,
It, it's
exactly.
it's not nice. Like I've had it happen to me a few times, and it really puts you off your game because you're not only are you trying to drive, you know, drive the race and have decent pace, but you're trying to do so with someone pushing you through corners and trying to murder you, basically.
Yeah, I can relate. I've driven against so many people in the few years I league raced, and I always hated it when people just poke their nose on the inside when there was a room. Yeah, and it came at one point that I would just think, this is my corner. I just, yeah, I steered in quite hard on these guys. If that happens now, because sometimes they need to be taught a lesson, because a few of these drivers just think they can bully everyone off the apex or out of the corner by just sending it. Yeah, but that's not proper race etiquette.
One thing I've noticed as well is like, say, you know, you get a good run on someone. Some drivers just don't know when to ease off the accelerator. Like they'll
Yeah.
just keep it planted no matter what, and you can't do that. You need to show a bit more respect. Like you know, in real life racing, obviously this isn't real life racing, but if you're
Mm-hmm.
driving this kind of car, you know, you do get that element of it doesn't matter if I crash out, I'm not going to break any bones or die.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're racing against other human beings, and you have to almost be a bit more respectful than you probably are in real life.
Yeah, and I think maybe what a lot of these drivers still miss is the side-by-side racing experience.
Yeah,
Of course, we host multiple sessions, training sessions during the week. Yeah, but most of the times there are quite some gaps between the drivers, of course. But it would be good if drivers who have the same pace for most of the time, like Larson, Wimpy, to give an example, start practicing together. I remembered when I started league racing, I drove with a few people who were faster than me. But when we just started league racing, we just for fun, we did 5 lappers and tried to drive side by side for a whole lap together on the limit. But that's how you learn the quickest how much risk you can take, and how much space you need to give the other driver in particular corners.
yeah,
That yeah
totally
that,
agree,
that
totally agree.
yeah, I think that's some experience a lot of these drivers still miss.
I think like the race is pretty much settled down. We're on the final lap here. There's not really much going on apart from Nico Rosberg has somehow got on the back of Larson. There's DRS open here, but he's not going to get him this time around. But he's running out of track, so he needs to. If he's going to make a move, it has to be soon. I see the back straight with the DRS may be a good opportunity for that.
No.
But yeah, like, you know, just continuing what you're saying, like, I think it, like, whenever you're racing against someone and you know them, like, whenever I race with Iceman, I just know that I can trust that guy. Like, we can
Yeah.
go through corners too wide, you know, and maybe a mistakes happens here or there, but generally speaking, I know I can trust that guy. But there's other drivers, when they're, you know, alongside me, I'm like, I'll just back out of it, because I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't, this isn't going to end well, you know? And you don't want
I
to be,
mean,
like, racing like that, you know?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's all about, of course, you need to respect each other. You need to have confidence in the other driver as well. Like last week in Spain, I had a massive overtake on Julian, where we went the first sector side by side, and we even bumped front wheels together. But it was on the limit, but it was with 100% of respect for each other, and that's why it went well. And then you can also race hard, but it doesn't go wrong, and that's what you want. And yeah, Light
Yes.
Cruiser wins the race.
It's so enjoyable. But yeah, just while you're talking there, Nico got past Larson. He kind of, yeah, he sent it right up the inside there at the end of the back straight and gets the move done. But whether he gets P5 on penalties, we'll see. Iceland on the podium, P3, nice job from him. And Larson indeed does pick up P5, Nico P4, and Wimpy, good job there in P6. Managed to hold it together. Vinny with a nice recovery drive to P7. Justin P8 and Tipsy Bob unfortunately P9. Not a great race from him. Unfortunately, got himself tangled up in a few incidents early.
Yeah. And I'm curious if Crazy Joss has footage of what happened with him and Justin. I'm still curious if he got that tap into at the end of the back straight. So we have to wait and see if there is footage. But yeah, let's not
Speculate.
yeah, speculate too much on that without footage. Exactly, I couldn't find the word. But yeah, it was interesting what happened in a few occasions this race.
So there we go. We have Pretorius, winner of the feature race, Light Cruiser, winner of the sprint race.
Yeah.
Icewind on the podium there, and nice drive from him. Just kept it tidy. Great pace. Gets himself a podium finish. Nice job. I know he had zero practice for this one as well, so he just threw himself in.
we ignored chat.
Yeah, I was only going to ask, what is Je bent in topper? Is that?
Oh, je bent een topper. Yeah, what's the?
Is it repeatable in English?
Something like you're a great guy. Something like that. But some people want to have you on a Dutch course.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, we have quite some Dutch people in the SLR and 2SRO community, so that's quite funny. But yeah, I would say Pretorius driver of the day for the first race and Light Cruiser for the second.
Indeed, and hopefully we can get a few interviews on the go afterwards. Speak to the drivers, see how the race was from their point of view. Let's have a look here, see who we got. Oh yeah, we've got the man himself, Light Cruiser actually. Grassy Jos as well, so I'll bring in the guy.
Bring them both in.
Yeah, Grassy Jos.
Hey, hello.
Hey, how's it going, man? And
hello, Manna.
Light Cruiser.
Hi.
Ocean Chief wants to learn Dutch.
Yeah, I'll explain how you pronounce my name. So it's Grazy Jos.
Grazy Jos. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Yeah. I probably won't remember it, but I'll try anyway.
And it's Het is Davy and not Het is Davis.
Yeah.
It grew to a meme though.
Yeah, I've problems speaking English, so there's no way I can speak Dutch. But yeah, to the race, Light Cruiser, congrats on the win in the sprint race. You're the champion of season 1, season 2 champ already. I mean, did you come into this race with zero practice?
Yes.
Yes, I kind of
the game like 5 minutes before the lobby.
Yeah, we suspected that, and you just got stronger as the race progressed. How did you find both races then? Was there any takeaways from?
Well, shame I got the penalty in the first race, in the last lap.
Oh, that was yeah, I just remember now. Yeah, that was a really interesting finish to that race. We were thinking maybe you'll get him, but that penalty, yeah, it really cost you.
I did get him, but the penalty.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for you, but it made for a really interesting final few laps there. As obviously you're on the right tire. We kind of heard the Pretorius, his MFD wasn't working, and that's why he didn't pit for the wets. We thought he was just being smart, you know, but it turned out that it was Codemasters striking once again with their infamous bugs.
Nice game.
Yeah, I know. Can't wait to the next one. We'll get a whole new DLC of bugs. Grassy Yoso, how's it going? How was that race for you? I think, Jensen, was there an incident you wanted to ask Gracioso about?
Yeah, did Justin tap you on the rear at the back straight, which caused you to go wide?
No, yeah, he tapped me in the back, but it was actually quite hard. So he threw me into the barrier, so it caused me to get front wing,
Yeah, okay.
red front wing. So yeah, he said that I broke 100 meters too early, but
300.
I've done 300 actually. Now I've done footage here, and I have a GIF. So
Okay,
if you
yeah.
guys want to see it, it's in the main F2 channel, so
Yeah,
you can view it. But it's yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yeah, it's definitely not 300 meters too early, and yeah, I don't know what to say. I just got hit in the back, and
Oh yeah,
it's a
that's
shame.
that's way too late. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, after this is my second night of commentating. Yesterday it was carnage as well.
Yeah, I saw, man.
I think the admin team needs to check everything at this point at the moment. So, yeah, but unfortunately for you,
Yeah, but
I was
it was a
switching.
good for a few laps, first few
Yeah.
laps. Yeah, and the first race was fun as well. So yeah, I enjoyed it, but yeah, shame of
yeah.
the last bit, but yeah, it happens. So
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose, but yeah.
Nah, I don't think he does it on purpose, but
No,
yeah.
I don't think either. But yeah, it's just
We need to make sure
yeah.
that at least people learn from these kind of things, because people are a little bit wild lately.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like how I hit Light Cruiser in Spain when I did the F2 race as well. Remember Light Cruiser?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone makes that mistake sometimes, but yeah, it's a wild week.
I think we
Yeah.
should bring back public floggings and just like humiliate
Oh.
people. Like just do a
Yeah.
live stream where we beat the crap out of someone if they drive bad.
Yeah. Who's gonna take a plane though?
Oh, we'll just hire a hitman or something. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean it was a good race from you guys, but you know, just while you're on in the booth, we were kind of talking before the race as well. Obviously, Jensen's part of the SLR admin team now, and we're kind of talking about F2 attendance, and it looks like it's kind of dying a death. So this could well be the last season we have for SLR and F2 in its current form, which is unfortunate from my point of view, and I'm sure Light Cruiser you're gonna miss it as well because obviously you excelled in this series, but I really enjoyed it. I think like I'm not like I think more drivers should really take part and just I think people are just try hard in it. They think like, oh, if I'm going to take part, I need to really put the practice in, and really you don't need to. You could just
No.
show up and just have a bit of fun, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
As long as
Yeah,
you're not
that's true. Yeah.
as long as you're not a
Just-
liability on track, yeah, it's everybody's welcome to take part. But we've had some really epic races in F2, and I've really enjoyed commentating on some of them and racing some of them.
I mean, it doesn't have to be the end, but maybe because, like I said, this game is going to its last cycle. So maybe when the next game comes out, maybe we can do one big season. Because until till December, most people aren't fed up with racing, and now you get to the point that some people, yeah, start to become less motivated. It's something that happens every year. I noticed.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's just like when a new F1 game comes out, there's a big hype. So
Yeah.
everyone wants to play it. Everyone wants to be a part of the league, and
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be a lot of people who want F2 league as well.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you can at least do one season when the game the new game is just out, and I'm sure attendance will be high enough then. But
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there will be.
yeah.
Well, I think that wraps it up for the interview with you guys. So I'm going to move you back into chat. Thanks very much for joining us on the stream. I appreciate it, gents, and we'll hopefully see you next time out. Hopefully I can join you on track for this one.
Yeah.
I have no idea what track's next. Like, do you know which track? Or
Abu
Grassy
Dhabi.
Drift?
Last
Abu
one.
Dhabi. Awesome. Oh, it's the last one. Oh, even better. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to race that one. So I'll try and get some other commentators on the mic for that one. But yes, thanks again for joining us on chat, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, no problem.
Cheers.
Bye. See ya.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Right. So next up, we've got Wimpy, and we're going to bring in Iceland as well. Let me see if I can.
I just moved to another channel. Hello to SLR Fieldwind.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
What's
best.
your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
We've got Mr. EGL on the mic. How's it going, Wimpy? It was a bit of a painful one to watch there. I saw that incident you posted with Blessed, although I think we'll just call him Curse from now on. He was not doing very well in this race. Like,
Yeah, man, I was just chatting to him and apologizing to him for that incident. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I tried passing him around the outside. That was my favorite two corners that I normally pass people around the outside, and I stayed wide, actually on the curb as wide as I could go, not to go off track. And for some reason, he just came a little bit too wide and hooked to my his back wheel hooked to my front wing there, and he just flew off in front of me, and I just saw wheels flying. And unfortunately for him, he died, man. I did pick up some damage. I was hoping for the rain to come to get back into the race, and it kind of actually worked a little bit. So yeah, I'm happy with points for a change, both races. Can't complain. Happy chappy.
and Icewind, podium finish for you, man. I know you had zero practice for this one, and you weren't really
Yeah.
up for doing
Yeah.
the race, but you joined at the last second there and podium finish. Nice job, man.
Yeah, it was kind of fun in the first race to drive in the wet. It was the first ever laps I did in this car. Maybe if it's on stream, you can see how it went. I was like off every corner, but I think everybody else was struggling as well. So I managed to keep onto that. What did I get? P4 in the first race. Yeah.
Yeah, in the second race.
Yeah, the second race was first lap. I probably have to look at my footage. It was a bit of a dive from me, I think, on Grazi just into the tight right-hander at the end of the back straight. But there might have been like just enough space for him, but it might have been a little. I don't know if you guys saw it on stream, but yeah. First lap in the sprint race was really tight through those low corners, and I think there was a little bit of wheel banging with somebody, but I got away with it. So.
I think I remember. Yeah, a little bit of wheel banging is fine.
Yep, and then like in the sprint race, I cleared Larsen, and then I was 2 seconds behind Pretorius, and we were just basically trading lap times with him, and I caught him by 2/10, and then I lost it the next lap again, and it was 2 seconds at the end. So yeah.
Yeah, and you traded penalties as well.
Yeah, that's right. So we both had 3 seconds. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. First race had some really nice battles. I overtook a couple of guys in some. I think I did a couple of really nice overtakes there. It was fun.
We thought you were going to win that.
Because it was given to him.
At least you guys went for the adventure strategy and the more fun one.
Yeah, I kind of figured because light cruiser started on the mediums, and I was like, oh god, it's gonna rain, and I will not get to that. But then I kind of got a free pit stop with the safety car. So
yeah, Ocean and me were very confused because we didn't know it was going to rain at the end. So I was like, why the hell is Nico Rosberg going for 9 laps on super soft tires?
Yep.
But
okay, so you guys didn't get any info about that, so yeah, should have dropped you a hint there. But yeah, it was
in the second race, which was it the sprint race? The second race?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was pole position, I started being caught by the faster boys like Light Cruiser and Pretorius. Yeah, when I saw ice coming flying down on my rear, I just told him, "You just go past it. Go get Pretorius for me. I'll hang in your slipstream and DRS to try and help you to get back to Larsen."
Exactly.
I made a mistake and I was struggling big time to get back to him.
That's also what Ocean said. You guys were in voice comms, of course, and it's way smarter to not lose time going side by side for 2 corners than just follow each other with DRS for as long as possible.
Yeah, but it was fun to hit the track at least. For been doing comms for this race. I mean this series for a little while, but
Okay, Ocean, I gotta go for a second.
Okay, Jensen, cheers for helping us out with comms there. So,
No,
good
no
job,
problem.
my man. But yeah, we were like Jensen was saying, we are very confused there. We actually thought Icewind is on for the win here, and then the rain came down, and we're like, oh,
Yep.
I get it, right. And then
Yeah.
Pretorius apparently stayed out because he couldn't, his MFD wasn't working. So we were thinking he was like, just going for a dry tire strategy and just trying to gamble. And
Okay.
actually, he had no choice. He had to stay out, and it actually worked out for the best. Because Light crossed the line first, but Pretorius had
Had a
or
penalty, I guess.
yeah, Light Cruiser had a 3 second penalty, so it cost him the win. So yeah, good job from Pretorius there. I was hoping he could join us on the stream here, but we know he's a bit of a shy boy. But Wimpy, good job, man. Like I've been in that position before. Where you start in the sprint race and you're pole position, and you've got all these fast guys behind you, and you're going, "Oh
Yeah.
God, no!"
I
Uh,
was so nervous.
Light Cruiser,
No.
Pretorius. Who else? So you got like, yeah, just a bunch of fast guys coming up, from behind, and they're going to get you at some point probably, and you just want to keep it tidy and just keep your head down. So you did that. You got P6, which I think is a pretty good result, man. And
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see you return for Abu Dhabi with your number one teammate.
Yes, please. I'm tired of taking all the points.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll put a bit of practice in for this one, and hopefully end the season on a high, um, or else die on track on lap one, and yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
Anyway.
But yeah, so tomorrow we have SLR Tier 1, the big one. It's Canada. We've seen a very messy series of races in Tier 2. Actually, I was going to say Tier 3, but Tier 3 wasn't too bad. Only one
Luckily,
safety
I
car.
wasn't involved in last night's race.
I tell you, man, you dodged a bullet. Honestly, that was terrible. There was some really questionable stuff going on there in the FIA. I know they've
Yeah.
been working hard on those verdicts already. But yeah, you
Yeah. I
definitely
see
dodged a
some
bullet.
demotions to Tier 3, I guess.
Maybe, yeah. There's a few people wanting to wanting to jump ship. But we're gonna have a look at that in the FIA and hopefully clean that league, that tier up, because it is. I mean, the first 2 seasons in Tier 2 were pretty clean. Just for whatever reason, this season has just been absolute chaos, and
Yeah.
especially with the safety car feature, it really kind of amplifies it because it really messes up people's strategies in. And 4 safety cars in a 50% race is a bit much. Uh, Although it can be for a fun, crazy race to watch. There's so much chaos going on, you just don't know what's going to happen next. But yeah, Canada tomorrow, Tier 1, no assists. Can they survive without a safety car? I wonder. We did it last week in Spain somehow. Can we do it again? Iceland, what do you reckon?
Well, if it's up to me, probably I'll get a safety car once out in the World of Champions.
Yeah, I mean, kind of scary track, a very scary track. It's a street circuit. The walls are so close and always taunting you. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think both of us are going to probably lack a bit of warm-up practice beforehand. So
Yeah, it's so easy to overheat the softs on the first stint if you start on them. So it's like you yeet the rare ones and you'll have no grip at all. So we'll see.
Yep. So that lies out. I wonder if it's going to rain as well. We haven't seen any wet races in Canada this week, so hopefully not. Please, please, if there's a God, please do not make it rain tomorrow. Just any other race but this one. But yeah, anyway, see SLR Tier 1 tomorrow. I think Assetto Corsa might be tomorrow as well. I think. I don't know.
I will check quickly. It is. Where do we? So it is actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if anybody has done a single lap of practice for that.
I haven't
don't
heard.
think-
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody talking about it. So we'll see if that happens tomorrow. And then Sunday, of course, you got Wimpy returns for Tier 2 at 2 SLR, and then we've got Tier 1.
Monaco.
Oh my word! Oh my word! I might wash my hair that day.
For us.
Yeah, I'm actually more worried about
Monaco's my favorite track, not to die.
Well, just a heads up, last season, 2SRL, full wet Monaco, and I somehow
No.
survived it. I think it was last, like, but I did survive somehow.
I crashed
managed
on
to
lap
get some
1.
points last time around, if I can remember. I think it was P9. I
P9.
did. Oh yes, I remember. I went from lap 3 all the way to the end with Hodge. Remember,
Yep.
you made me drive that whole race in the Monaco streets on a hard.
I blame Chief.
I
It
think
was
it was
Chief.
like I think
Hey,
it was like 27 or 29 laps on hards.
Like
P9?
30
Some
5 or something like that.
I know. I only did 3 laps on the soft, and the whole race was on hard. No, hopefully it's not gonna be that again.
Epic, epic. Well, I think that wraps up the stream for now. Thank you everybody for watching. Will join us next week. We got the season finale for Abu Dhabi F2, and yeah, that's going to be a good one. I think we'll hopefully get a good turnout for that as well. So thanks everybody for watching the stream, and join us again tomorrow. Adios.
Bye.